Hiya, folks. Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans. And today I'm going to actually be talking about uh, one of the voice actors on The Simpsons has come out and talked about why. Actually, I think it was in an interview. He talks about why white actors should be able to play non-white roles, as you could read right there. Um, and I want to say that if you guys don't remember this, like a couple of weeks ago, so you can see here this Cleveland Brown episode. Like I did an episode on this on June 30th, which was just about uh, a month, no, yeah, a month and 4 days ago. Okay, so I think it was something like that, a month and 4 days ago. Uh, all the white actors were like stepping down, like the guy who does Cleveland, a couple of characters from Central Park, that new show that I already quit that show. That's how much I didn't like that one. I think maybe was there some from Bob's Burgers or I can't remember. But in that video, I talk about like there's a bunch of people who are like, oh yeah yeah yeah, blah blah blah. We're stepping down from our roles. Who have been voicing white. They no no they've been voicing black characters, but they're actually white. Um, so yeah, if you guys want to see a little bit more on that, 17-minute video. Oh, okay, basically 18-minute video. Only has about 4 views. I guess it just didn't pick up. But there you go. You guys could go watch that if you want a little know a little bit more about what was happening back then. But yeah, so this is now a kind of like an update video on the situation where also, I almost forgot to mention there was this whole documentary on Apu. Apu is an Indian character. Basically, there was this one salty comedian, or I think he was a comedian or something like that. He makes a documentary called "The Problem with Apu," and he basically complains that like he was bullied as a kid, and people would call him Apu and tell him to go back to the Quickie Mart and shit like that. Um, which is natural. Like I think like I don't know about you guys, but like bullying just happens. Like I don't know, every school, I talk to my brothers, I talk to my cousins, like everybody has seen bullying at school. Like it happens. Like you just kind of got to take it to heart and move on. Uh I was bullied a bit in school. Um the problem was that I was actually the tallest and biggest guy in the class. So if anyone, fucked with me, I could just knock them clean. I actually got suspended a few times too. Got into a few fights. Actually, one time I broke some kid's glasses because I threw a snowball at him. And obviously, most schools have a no snowball policy. What are the odds? I throw a snowball and it hit him square in the middle of the like right there, snapped his glasses in two. I couldn't believe it. And the school said I couldn't come back to school unless I paid $70 for him to get a new pair of glasses. And my mom told the school board to fuck off. And and then they had to let me come back to school. So that's a real story. That happened in Canada, right here, Canada, Ontario. Yeah, I threw a snowball, snapped some kids' glasses, but through some ungodly luck. And holy shit, yeah, that actually happened. Um, so here, let's follow up on this story and jump back in here. But yeah, bullying happens. Oh, I almost forgot the Apu thing. Yeah. So basically, after the whole controversy, where the whole documentary, it's like the problem with Apu. The Simpsons was like, oh, or Disney or Fox or whichever one of them owned it at the time. They are like, oh yeah, Pooh isn't appearing anymore because it's racist. Uh, I think it was because there was a white actor who was doing the role, and they viewed it as like quote unquote unsensitive. Like to do an Indian voice if you're a white guy. Like I'll do one right now. Hello, my friend. There you go. I just did my own Indian accent. So, yeah, and that's apparently racist. So, they had to give Apu the old, And that was that for Apu. And no, I think he did appear in like one or two episodes, but he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk anymore. Um, Actually, I did an episode on SpongeBob a while back that talked about his grandmother and how the person, the person who did SpongeBob's grandma retired from voice acting. So they sometimes have SpongeBob grandma appear, but she just doesn't talk. So yeah, that was that. Anyway, yeah. So they retired a Pooh, kind of like I guess he hasn't talked since that controversy happened. I don't think he has anyway. So yeah, now we're here onto the article. So all this stuff with the poo happened. Then that video, right around the time of the June 30th, all these white actors and white actresses, voice actresses, they started to step down, right? They started to step down, and one of the biggest ones is Cleveland, which I don't want to see that. I think the guy who does Cleveland is literally amazing. Like I love Cleveland's voice. Actually, one of my favorite gags of all the Family Guy is when Cleveland is in the bathtub and like something breaks his house and then he's like, no, 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 no. And then the bathtub like falls down and crashes. I love that. Like they can't just imagine that happening with like a different voice actor. Would it sound as funny? Like no, it wouldn't sound as funny. Like I don't think I'd find it as funny. Um so yeah, here let's just jump right in. I keep saying we're gonna jump right in. We're already like 7 minutes in. Okay, let's jump right in. For real this time. ScreenRant.com is where this article is, and this article is by Abdul Al Ghamdi. Ghamdi. Abdul Al Ghamdi. So that sounds Indian. I swear I've read articles from this guy before. I remember I pronounced his name wrong somewhere. Anyway, Simpsons actor criticizes new POC, which stands for person of color if you're not up to date with your stupid ass acronyms. So new POC character voice rules. So Harry Shearer, who voices Dr. Hibert on The Simpsons, explains the reason why he believes white actors should be able to play non-white roles. 100% agree with him. What is an actor? An actor is basically somebody who fakes a role, right? Like it's like an actor. You're acting. It's fraudulent, you know. It's supposed to be fraudulent. Like an actor can play an animal. An actor can play a woman. Actually, back in the medieval ages, most of the female roles were actually played by men. For some historical accuracy there. And that's just it, right? Like you can play anything, you can play anyone. I'm sure that some of you. I remember when I was in school, we had to do a play called The Wiz, which is some kind of janky ass spin off of the Wizard of Oz thing. I don't know what the fuck The Wiz is. I would always get a good giggle and be like, why are we doing a play that sounds like someone's pissing? The fucking Wiz. Okay, so we had to do The Wiz. You want to know what my role was in The Wiz? I was a tree. A fucking tree. Okay? So I was playing a tree. Like imagine, like that's what acting is. You're playing something that you're not supposed to be. Or someone that you're not supposed to be. Now there's exceptions. Okay, here's a good exception. I recently did a video that talked about John Cena, who had his own show where actually no, he doesn't. He plays a robot. Never. And there's another point. John Cena playing a robot. But sometimes characters in cartoons literally just play themselves. You know, perfect example that the old Mike Tyson show, right? What's another good example? Cartoons where somebody played themselves. There's probably so many examples and they're not coming to me. Where would I don't oh in The Simpsons actually there's probably been so many celebrities that played themselves over the course of The Simpsons. And yeah, that's so it can happen. You can have voice actors that play themselves, absolutely. But most of the time, like I was just saying, I was just a fucking tree. I was literally a tree. I had like two lines in the whole thing, okay? Like I was literally like my character was a cardboard cutout. No, it was made out of plywood. I was a tree made out of plywood that had a face like cut out. Like you ever go to the zoo or like a theme park or something, and they have those like wooden things that with the face is cut out so you could do like a nice little picture. That's literally I was a tree, okay? In the Wiz. I was just a background tree that had like a line. That was it. That was it. It was good. It was good. I didn't have to memorize like anything, just like two lines, and that was that. So yeah, pretty good. I was a tree, and this guy is, and I was saying, yeah. So actors can be anything, right? So let's jump in. So Harry Shearer. Oh, I already read that. What the fuck? What the fuck? I already read that. Okay. The Simpsons actor Harry Shearer opposes the idea that white actors shouldn't be able to voice non-white characters. Again, I 100% agree with Harry Shearer. He is the hero that we need right now. Okay, Harry Shearer, top dog. Okay, starting down questions of bias and privilege. Animated series like Central Park, which is like I watched the first three episodes. The first episode had a really good musical number, and the other three, I didn't like the show. I noped out. I don't think I would ever go back to Central Park. And Family Guy. So yeah, some female character on Central Park, and Cleveland Brown on Family Guy have tried to respond to the prevalence of white actors voicing people of color. The Simpsons has been a lightning rod for this particular issue, especially as it relates to Apu. Oh god, I'm gonna butcher this one. Nahas Pima Pintolin. Yeah, he has some really weird last name. It's a running gag in The Simpsons that he just has some gibberish last name. So hard to pronounce that. Nahash. How do you pronounce? Okay, let me give it one more go. Nahas Pier Pimpleton. Okay, I said it wrong. Debuting in 1990 as a clerk in a convenience store, a Quickie Mart, yes, the character would go on to acquire depth and popularity over the course of many seasons, but also a fair amount of controversy. He was the subject of the 2017 documentary titled "The Problem with Apu," and I was just talking about this. Um, and yeah, so here it is. This is the guy. I'm not a fan of this guy. Okay, in which comedian Harry Kondabolu delved into the fact that Apu helped to propagate stereotypes about South Asians, not Indians. Isn't what? No, I think the person who did this article like that's wrong. I'm pretty sure it was Indians, right? Like Apu's Indian, not South Asian. Is he South Asian? No. No, he's Indian, right? Apu's Indian. I think the person that wrote this article might have screwed up there. Uh, is India in South Asia? I don't. I'm not a geography person. Okay, so if I'm wrong here, I'm wrong. Um, the Simpsons was initially dismissive of the controversy, which they should have been. And yeah, there was an episode where Lisa holds a pitcher in her hand, and they're going to talk about that here. I think even responding to it with a mockery in an episode. Yeah, they say basically the episode. I watched it like twice. The episode was about Marge. She read this really racist book as a child, and now that she was reading it again in the modern day, she realized how racist it was. Um, and they were talking. I remember like Lisa. There's a scene like things change, and like the something that wasn't initially racist is now deemed as such by the mass populace. And then she grabs like a picture of a poo. So so yeah, that was pretty funny. And so yeah, that's what they're talking about when they say mockery in an episode. As the issue remained in the public consciousness, which like who the fuck's talking about that anymore? Like, you know, Come on, fuck off. So in the public consciousness, with Hank Azaria announced that he would no longer voice the character and explained why he believed stepping away from the role was the right decision. Harry Shearer, who voices many characters on The Simpsons, including Ned. Oh, really? He does Ned Flanders. Wow. And the black character of Dr. Hibert revealed his own views on the subject in recent remarks. Okay. So like you got to applaud this guy because like Disney is such a woke company and like I feel like he's standing out and stepping up and he's really helping to push these woke people back back into the cave they fucking crawled out of. So that's great. Great to see. Most people get trampled by these woke menaces and they submit and they cave and they apologize and they end up ruining things for everybody. Okay, that's what happens. They end up ruining things for everybody. So this guy, what was the guy's name again? Harry Shearer coming out of the woodwork and saying this. What a great guy. What a great guy for pushing back the wokeness. This is great. Like I said, I was a tree. You know, imagine like fucking people who identify as trees telling me I'm racist because I played a tree in a play like 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck off. Oh my god. Anyway, let's keep going. How long? Oh wow, I'm not even like halfway done this thing. Jesus. So nope, that's wrong. Okay. So in an interview with Times Radio, Shearer explained his differing opinion. I have a very simple belief about acting, Shearer said. The job of the actor is to play someone who they are not. What a great line. I'm going to repeat that because that is such a great line. The job of the actor is to play someone who they are not. That's exactly what I've been talking about this whole video. This guy's amazing. Wow. And also Ned Flanders, one of my favorite characters. By the way, Oakley Dokley, okay? Great stuff. That's the gig. That's the job description, Shearer added that his point of view wasn't financially motivated, joking that he wasn't paid by the voice. Yeah. They're not paid, you know, they aren't paid like for the voices. They're paid to just Oh no, I think like they're not paid to voice characters specifically. They're just like be a voice actor and play like whoever, you know? Like Teen Titans Go. If you've ever seen Teen Titans Go, it's not a great show. But one of the things about that show is that it's really obvious too, okay? It's so obvious. Like 90% of the characters on Teen Titans Go are voiced by the main characters. Like the people who voice Robin, Beast Boy, Starfire, Raven, and Cyborg, the 5 people who play those characters, okay? They voice almost all the characters on the show. And some of them are really poor. Like, there's like Robin has like a talking boomerang, and you can like very vividly hear that it's Robin's voice. And like there's so many examples, okay? If you've seen Teen Titans Go, they reuse the same voice actors for literally fucking everything, okay? Also, another great example, South Park, most of the voices are done by the two main creators. What were their names again? Matt Parker and Trey Stone, I think. Yeah. So 2 guys doing almost all the voices on the show. I don't think they do the women too much, but most of the men characters, you could start hearing that they're very clearly doing most of the characters. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like they probably do Towley, who's a towel. They do Mr. Hanky, who's a Christmas poo. Etc. Jesus Christ, Santa Claus, you know, they do all these characters, so many wacky characters. It's your voice acting. You're doing voices of like whatever's coming your way, okay? So let's keep going. Shearer did note the importance of representation behind the camera in terms of hiring an inclusive group of writers and producers. Um, well, I'm always in the opinion that you should be hiring the best people. You shouldn't be hiring, you know, don't be hiring people off of Tumblr, just because, just because they made a good drawing. Like in the comic book industry, instead of hiring actual professionals, they just go on Tumblr and find someone who's doing woke art. Like fuck off. It's fucking hilarious, and that's why the comics industry is collapsing. Hey, uh, so let's keep going. Uh, blah blah blah, which would ensure that stories of people from different communities would be reflected on the screen. Shearer's comments echo the famous remarks made by Scarlett Johansson, in which the Black Widow star argued that she should be free to play any role that she wanted, regardless of the character's specificities. Yeah, so there was an article, or there was a bunch of people who were ganging up on her because she was playing some, like, what was it, Ghost in the Shell or something. Um, she was playing in some movie. I think, was it Ghost in the Shell? I think it was. Actually, let me click this article. Let's see what it was. Blah 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 blah. What was it? Cinematic universe. No, I swear it was like some show. It was like some like Ghost in the Shell thing. Oh yeah, yeah. It was Ghost in the Shell. You could see it right there. Ghost in the Shell, right there. Yeah. So that was that. So there was a bunch of weirdos on Twitter as usual who were like complaining. Oh, she's not Asian. She can't play the characters from Ghost in the Shell. She's not Asian. She's acting. Okay. She's fucking acting. So let's keep going. These statements reflect a disagreement in the acting community about what aspects should be prioritized when casting for a project. In another way, it also reflects the trouble with limiting the importance of inclusion to the symbolic realm of representation. Yeah, so I think what they mean here is like, well, if you're only hiring people like black people to play black roles, isn't that kind of racist? You know what I'm saying? Like, only black people can play blacks, only white people can play whites. It kind of sounds like racist when you put it that way, right? Like, imagine telling a black person that they couldn't play a white role because they're black, right? Doesn't sound so good. So I think that's what they're trying to say with that line right there. So, while representation is a significant goal, it negates the more immediate and pressing issue of economic fairness. Shearer has been with The Simpsons since its inception in 1989. Wow, so The Simpsons is 4 years older than me. Pretty cool. I'm a 93 baby. Voicing a number of iconic characters and gaining financially as a result. Johansson, for her part, routinely lands on the list of highest paid. Why are they going back to Scarlett? Okay, uh, on the highest paid actresses. Okay, both performers are well known and respected, with a plethora of popular credits and critically lauded performances under their belts. By providing the voice of a non-white character or by playing a minority character in a big blockbuster, they are inevitably taking a job opportunity from groups of people that rarely have roles written for them. Like I just disagree. Like, you got to use who's at your disposal, like there's that, like I said, you got to find the best person for the job. Sometimes if you have people that can do the job, then why not, right? Sometimes money is an issue. Like, I was talking about Teen Titans Go, and I think there's a character named like Sticky Joe, right? Sticky Joe on Teen Titans Go. And I think he's played by like Robin also. Like, the guy who voices Robin in Teen Titans Go literally does like a fourth of all the voices, okay? There's like, he does like a like I said, that Boomerang. He does a whole bunch of characters. You can even hear it. He doesn't do good impressions. He's pretty bad at his impressions, so you can really tell it's the guy who does Robin like every time. so so yeah, but yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're talking about here how they're taking jobs away from people that rarely have roles written for them. Like, I don't know, man. It's like I think that's a sticky situation. It really is. It's tricky to talk about. Um, like it's hard to say that they should just like go out and make their own, but like I just feel like you got to use the people at your disposal, and you got to make with what you got do. If you can't hire, it's expensive to bring these people in. The more voice actors. Oh, also another problem with animation. If you bring in like, okay, so here we talked about how this guy voices Ned Flanders, and he also voices Dr. Hibert. So, oh my God, excuse me. Um, so here's what happens, right? If you get a whole, let's just say you hired 6 minority characters. Actually, let's just say there was a voice actor who did five other minority characters. Okay, there was a voice actor. He played 6 characters in total, and he was a white guy who played 1 white character, and the other 5 were like all minorities. So here's what happens if those if those 5 minority characters end up being if they need to bring them back in, right? Tell me what's easier, hiring one guy who does 6 voices and can be readily available, or hiring 6 separate minorities. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta. It's sometimes it's Hollywood. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Okay, that's the bottom dollar line. It's all about the money. Uh, to me, it just makes like if I was making my own studio, and like that exact same example, would I rather have one guy doing 6 voices, even if they're minorities, or would I actually go out and hire 6 minorities, knowing that every time I wanted to get those characters, I would have to go find like all these handful of people, or I could just find one guy. I know that doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good, but when you're on a budget, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, so The Simpsons is probably given a certain amount of money, and they can't just like all go off hiring a bajillion minorities, or not just minorities, like just anyone. So yeah, that's what I have to say. It's a tricky road. It's a sticky road. Um, I don't know what the true answer is here, but people got to do what they got to do. They only have so much money they can work with, and yeah, and also there's always. I mean, I don't like to say it like to push it off, but like you could. There's always so many people that can go in the indie scene, and make your own. I mean, it's going to be really hard to make a cartoon by yourself, but I've seen, if you ever go on the cartoon Reddit, I'll actually pull that up right here. Um, hold on. So there's this one right here. I saw this earlier today. Smokey the Yorkie, the tiniest war hero that saved 250 men in World War II. And let's see here. Your channel is going to grow huge in no time with animations like that. Good stuff. You have no idea how great it is to hear this. Thank you for spreading the love. It made my day. Tell your friends. So this guy, I don't want to like steal his video here, but he just made his own. He has, let's view this on YouTube. He has, this is a brand new YouTuber. He has like, I think he has less subscribers than me, and I have 24. I have 24 subscribers. Okay, look at that. Look, okay, this guy beat me already. Okay. When I saw this video like a bit ago, this dude had less subscribers than me. He now has 28 subscribers. He surpassed me. He made his own video with cartoons in it. So I don't want to just be like shoving this situation off and saying that well, the minorities and whoever the vocal minorities can just go do indie stuff, but technically they can. Like this guy right here, 28 subscribers. He's doing animation on YouTube. It's a possibility, you know. It's a possibility. So yeah, I think I talked enough about that. So there's this guy. What was this guy's name? Lucky and Spot. Okay, there you go. You can subscribe to him. Also subscribe to me because this guy's already doing better than I am, and I've been doing this for 2 months straight. So yeah, 24 subscribers. Let's up that ante. You know what I'm saying here? So yeah. So let's jump back in here. So where was I? Both both performers. Did I read that? Okay, here we go. By providing the voice of a non-white character or by playing a minority character in a big blockbuster, they are inevitably taking. Okay, wait, I just talked about that. The entertainment industry, like other spaces in society, is riddled with bias. Look, it's such. They're really just loading a gun right here, okay? Oh my god. Is riddled with bias. I mean, like, I don't know what to say to that statement. I don't know what to say to that one. I feel like I've been so in depth. Oh, okay, hold on. I wasn't even. Is riddled with bias and preferential treatment. But like that's how it works, right? That's like the best people for the job. Like there's always these whisper networks where the people hire their friends, you know? Like what the fuck do you want me to say? We've seen that in the comics book industry. There's an entire whisper network where they were blocking, like they were causing controversies, and they're anti-comics gate. They were gatekeeping, keeping out certain people, ruining deals for people. Like what the fuck? It's such a tricky subject. Like it's so hard. It's like it's on both sides, you know, it's on both sides. There's like on one hand you could say, "Oh, the white people just want to block out they don't want the minorities to succeed." And then on the other hand you could say, "Well, like they're just hiring, you know, they're hiring their friends." Like when I worked at the Home Depot, like I had people who were my friends who would be like, "Can you get me in there?" And the Home Depot would give referrals to be like, "You get 200." That's actually a thing, by the way. At certain times during the year, Home Depot will give you $200. It's usually in March in Canada. I don't know about other places, but usually around February or March, the Home Depot will actually go around to their employees and leave pamphlets on the lunchroom table. And they'll be like, "If you have any friends or family, we'll give you $200 to bring them into the Home Depot because they're so desperate for workers. They're so desperate for workers." So I can imagine the animation industry is just like that. It's like, who are you going to bring in? Like some random nobody? Or are you going to bring in your cousin? You're going to bring in your cousin. Of course you are. So yeah, it's like I said, it's such a tricky balancing act. I don't know what to say, man. It's so hard to talk about. So long as that remains to be the case, it is the responsibility of successful actors to lift up their frequently marginalized peers. And is that the end of the article? Okay, so that's the end of the article. Wow, this one went on for a while, 33 minutes. So yeah, I feel like I talked about it a lot. Let me know, like I said, tricky subject to talk about. Let me know what your thoughts are. I bet some of you disagree with me. I get a lot of females on my channel that just come in and start screaming in the comments section. Something tells me that's going to be happening here. So yeah, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. What can I say? But yeah, like this, I'm still an advocate where it's like, hire the best people for the job, and it's like you'll always do right, you know. It's a tricky road, but like I'm gonna leave it off here. You guys continue the discussion in the comments. I personally really like this guy. Harry Shearer for just speaking out against this woke bullshit. I like the idea that a white person or a black person or any other person can play any role in cartoons, okay? You could be a robot, you could be a tree like I was, you could be a doctor that's black like Dr. Hibert here. You could be Ned Flanders who is yellow, like he's yellow. He's not. I mean, I get it that Simpsons is like the yellow people are supposed to represent the white people. Okay, I get you. But like, he's technically yellow skinned. He's playing a yellow skinned character, right? So it's like, you know what? Maybe that's what the Simpsons failed at. The whole thing, the characters are all yellow, but then they still had brown and black characters. I think all the characters should have just been yellow. That's I think they made a misplay. I think they really did. I think they made a huge misplay. Every character should have been yellow. And then they would have never had these issues, right? They would have never. They literally like inflicted the wound on themselves by not making all the characters yellow. But whatever. Here we are. We're here now. It all occurred. I think they should bring Apu back. I think his voice actor should go right back to playing him. I like how in Family Guy, for example, just to end here, in Family Guy, my voice is going, oh my god. In Family Guy, there was a bartender. Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay, in Family Guy, there was a bartender and his name was Horace. Okay, let's grab a picture. Horace, there he is. Horace, Family Guy. There we go. Hey, there's Horace. You guys remember Horace from the early episodes? I remember Horace. He was the bartender for the Drunken Clam. It actually says it right there. He was the bartender at the Drunken Clam. Okay? But then, later seasons, I can't remember what episode it was, but Horace actually dies. Okay? Horace dies. And they replace him with a guy named Tyrone. Images. Tyrone. Hold on. Was his name Tyrone? I thought it. Tyrone. Tyrone with an N. It's not Tyrone, it's Tyrone with an N. Okay, so here's Tyrone. And he basically becomes the new clan, the Drunken Clam bartender owner. And so I like what they did because instead of taking away Cleveland, well, they're going to do it anyway, apparently, but instead of giving a black role to Cleveland, right? The guy who voices Cleveland is a white guy. Instead of doing that, they created this new character that was previously Horace. They created a brand new character. His name is Tyrone. And I'm pretty sure he's voiced by a black guy. I could be wrong. Maybe he's voiced by a white guy. But that's just it. They created a new black character. You see what I'm saying here? Instead of taking away from the characters that are already established, like Cleveland, why not just create another black... If you want to really bring in another black character, why take Cleveland's voice away? Why not make another Tyrone? Give Tyrone a brother, right? Give Tyrone a brother. There's so many possibilities, but no, they're like, fuck it, let's take the voices. Especially, like, everybody loves Cleveland. He even got his own show. Yeah, I love Cleveland's voice. I don't want Cleveland's voice actor to disappear, so that's really sad. But yeah, guys, these are my thoughts on this. I'm going to end it here. Please, once again, subscribe to my channel. Let's grow this thing up here. I am doing this full time. I'm trying to do like 1 or 2 videos a day, Monday to Friday. So yeah, why not go ahead and hit the subscribe button? Let me know about all this hoo-ha down in the comments. And thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.